I will say this though, you know, I'll probably upload this as a small little kind of like a little small video just saying like, you know, some like first impressions of Blue Archive. It is the definition of a chill game, right? So for the past I'd say about 3 hours we've been playing Blue Archive. The first hour didn't really count as we had a lot of technical problems as the game had to like fully install for us to like actually be able to play it. And we were just very much slowly trudging through it, right? But for the past about 3 to 4 hours we've been playing Blue Archive. And it is just the definition of like a chill auto game. It's not necessarily an auto farm game where you come in daily and like something like Eversoul where you come in daily and accept resources that accumulate over time. But it's a thing that everything is done automatically most of the way, at least from what I noticed. You have so many ways to, as long as you get max rating on everything, you can kind of, this is the wrong banner or wrong menu. As long as you do everything, you can just then do it auto clear later on. It's just super simple. And in general, it follows a bit more of like you have two different areas of the game from my understanding. So you have story progression, which is going to be, I think it's this tab, right? Yeah. You have story progression, which is going to be where you do, I don't want to click on it just in case it like forces me to do some story. I don't want to do that right now. We'll do that next time. But you have the story progression and then you have your stages. They're two separate things. And I think this way of doing game stuff is really much more enjoyable than most other things, right? And I think it's the reason that I stuck around with Eversoul for so long is because if I wanted to make progress in terms of power, I could. And if I wanted to make progress in terms of story, I could. I could do those two things separately. And I feel like that's like a part of like an enjoyment factor. Like it's a lot more freedom per se. And I think that's one really good part because we spent most of our time doing the missions, right? We did stage 1, although it took us literally like, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 to do these because I was just trudging through it, right? But we did this in about, you know, a while and we were just doing combat and it was fun. We were learning the game. And I didn't have to really try to actively care about the story. But if I want to do, like, let's say a full stream of story progression, well, I could just click on story and go and do the story. And I think that's just, it's that freedom of being able to do what you want when you want, instead of wanting to do one thing, but then being forced to do the other one. So I really like that part about it. And that's, I think, what goes into it also being a chill game, is that if you want to not do the story for as long as you possibly want, you can. I think Lariel or Neko mentioned earlier that at a certain point you would have to do the story so you can then do more stages, but that's at a certain point. It's not permanently, right? And I haven't unlocked these other systems, so I can't really comment on those. I'll have to wait until later to see what these things do. But once we get to there, if we do get to there, we're going to be playing Blue Archive for about 2 to 3 weeks. I want to give it that bit of a grace period, because at the end of that, that's when roughly Honkai Star Rail is going to launch. And that's going to take a bit more priority over the Blue Archive. I do apologize for the Blue Archive fans. I'm not going to be a long-term player for this game. At least not for now, at least. I want to wait until the game either grows on me or something like that. But we're going to give the game a 2 to 3 week kind of period right now. We play the hell out of it and try to just enjoy it this time, because we're on our road to becoming the gacha gamer. I want to play a lot of gacha games, as we do have a massive list of gacha games to play. And Blue Archive is a massive one that people did recommend. I think Neko and a lot of other people were just very much recommending it as a good experience. So this is one of the first ones. And yeah, that's that. That's going to be a small little kind of like first impressions of Blue Archive. It's just a nice chill experience. There's nothing really super egregious. I'll use that word. There's nothing egregious about this game right now. You know, playing something like Honkai or Genshin or any other game, there may be something egregious at the start, like shop recommendations, constantly being recommended deals, or something like, you know, the need for constant exploration, like in Genshin, or very, like, intimidating UI, like something like in Honkai, with the skill stuff, as we mentioned earlier. This just feels very simplistic, very fun, and as you can tell with the music going on right now, just a chill vibe. And also very cool character designs, in my opinion. I think some of the character designs are incredible, so that's my kind of first impressions of Blue Archive, that it's like, it's very inoffensive, it's very chill, and it's very kind of like, if you just want a nice anime time, this is where you go. If you want a nice anime time, this is where you go. I'm not going to comment on the story, as we've experienced very little about it, right? And I know a lot of people are going to probably say the story's great and whatnot. I'll wait until we experience it myself once we play through it. So I don't want to comment on it at all for now. But yeah, that's Blue Archive.